Now let's look at some verses which take away people from this group before the temple is started to be built. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi 16, verse 34. And it came to pass that Ishmael died and was buried in the place which was called Nahom. 2 Nephi chapter 5, verses 1 through 6. Behold, it came to pass that I, Nephi, did cry much unto the Lord my God, because of the anger of my brethren. But behold, their anger did increase against me, insomuch that they did seek to take away my life. Yea, they did murmur against me, saying, Our younger brother thinks to rule over us, and we have had much trial because of him. Wherefore now let us slay him, that we may not be afflicted more because of his words. For behold, we will not have him to be our ruler, for it belongs unto us who are the elder brethren to rule over this people. Now I do not write upon these plates all the words which they murmured against me, but it sufficeth me to say that they did seek to take away my life. And it came to pass that the Lord did warn me that I, Nephi, should depart from them and flee into the wilderness, and all those who would go with me. Wherefore it came to pass that I, Nephi, did take my family, and also Zoram and his family, and Sam mine elder brother and his family, and Jacob and Joseph my younger brethren, and also my sisters, and all those who would go with me. And all those who would go with me were those who believed in the warnings and the revelations of God. Wherefore they did hearken unto my words. In the interest of giving Nephi all the people possible for building the temple, let's just take away from his group Ishmael, who is obviously dead and gone, and Laman and Lemuel and their wives, and assume 10 children each. This is 25 people taken from our assumed group of 97, for a remaining total of 72 people in Nephi's group. Though I think it would be very logical to assume that Ishmael's 2 sons and their families would be gone as well, considering 1 Nephi chapter 7, verses 5 and 6. Also, we need to keep in mind that most of these 72 assumed people would be quite young, since most would have been born in the wilderness during the 12 to 30-year time span between the time they left Jerusalem and the time they allegedly built the temple. Now let's look at some verses from the Bible which describe the building of Solomon's temple. The Bible, 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month Ziph, which is the 2nd month, that he began to build the house of the Lord. 1 Kings chapter 5, verse 6. Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee will I give hire for thy servants, according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians. 1 Kings chapter 5, verses 10 and 11. So Hiram gave Solomon cedar trees and fir trees according to all his desire. And Solomon gave Hiram 20,000 measures of wheat for food to his household, and 20 measures of pure oil. Thus gave Solomon to Hiram year by year. 1 Kings chapter 5, verses 13 and 14. And King Solomon raised a levy out of all Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were in Lebanon, and 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the levy. 1 Kings chapter 5, verse 15. And Solomon had 70,000 that bare burdens, and 80,000 hewers in the mountains. 1 Kings chapter 5, verse 16. Beside the chief of Solomon's officers, which were over the work, 3,300 which ruled over the people that wrought in the work. 1 Kings chapter 6, verses 37 and 38. In the 4th year was the foundation of the house of the Lord laid, in the month Ziph. And in the 11th year, in the month Bul, which is the 8th month, was the house finished, throughout all the parts thereof, and according to all the fashion of it. So was he 7 years in building it. From the above verses we can see that the number of Solomon's workers were 183,300. 30,000 to help Hiram's hewers of cedar trees in Lebanon, 1 Kings chapter 5 verses 13 and 14. 70,000 workers that bear burdens, 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 15. 80,000 hewers in the mountains, 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 15, and 3,300 officers over the work, 1 Kings chapter 5 verse 16. This does not appear to include Hiram's servants who were hired by Solomon in Lebanon. Also, from the dates given in 1 Kings chapter 6 verse 1 and 1 Kings chapter 6 verses 37 and 38, we see that it took Solomon 7½ years to build this temple. There is no way that Nephi and even 72 full-grown men build a temple, quote, like unto the temple of Solomon, end quote, in their lifetime. This story is either an absolute fairy tale or quote-unquote Nephi was just lying in 2 Nephi chapter 5 verse 16 in comparing his quote-unquote temple to Solomon's. Highlights and quoted texts added. Please copy and share this presentation with anyone you would like to. Thank you very much for your time.